Hey, welcome to part 3 of this video tutorial series about the Drupal development virtual machine. This specific video tutorial is about importing an existing Drupal site into the virtual machine. Okay, this is like the main functionality that I've added to this virtual machine. Let's take a look at how this works. Good. This one is going to be very quick. You can see we are in the directory where we got the clone of the repository, and then we get into the directory called import sites. Here inside import sites you'll find some files.com with the virtual machine, with the background definition for this virtual machine, right? So this is the one that you find here. But now I've added this one here, which is this is just a backup that I made for my personal website on the web, right? Now I've adjusted it to follow the instructions, to follow the specific configuration that is required. You find all the instructions here in the written file. So it's very simple. You choose a domain. I'll say in my local environment it will run as local.veh3.net, right? That's arbitrary. I just decided to use that one. Inside of it you find a directory called exactly the same name, which is just the Drupal site. You see, this is just a normal Drupal site. This is Drupal 7, right? Index and everything else in there. Next, out here, I set the settings file. I copied it from the site's default directory, pasted it here, and set the name as appropriate. In this case, I'm also using, just to be consistent, local.veh3.net.settings.php, right? And finally, I got the SQL database dump. I named it again also by following the exact name domain that I'm going to use in my local development environment, .sql.gz. So this is gz compressed. You see, right? So this is the virtual machine is able to import directly from this gzipped SQL file. Cool. Now, what else do we need to do? Okay, our next step is this one here. We need to configure the provisioner, right? For us to be able, for us to be able to, this is not it. Why keep I going? Puppet, manifests, classes, and here you'll see import sites, right? Sorry, forgot to configure my Beam appropriately. I'm also missing my personal shortcuts here, but I'll just play with those. Okay, good. I'll just come in and use this template. You see, this is just commented out code, and remember we are in Drupal dev VM, and inside of it, Puppet, manifests, classes. You can see the path right up here. Let me just let you see it more easily, right? And the file is called importsites.pp. This is a Puppet definition file. Oh, sorry for that. I'm running low on disk space. You now know that. Okay. I'll simply go delete this line here. And sorry, I'll do that and repeat. Oh, why did it do that? Like this. And I'll just use this one here. Sorry, I'm definitely missing my custom Beam. Okay, so I'll just call it by following the convention. This is just the name of the resource, but the domain is set right here, right? So I'll simply do that there. For this one here, I'll just this one here. This is just for a directory, so no need to be special there. And for this one here, I'll just go and use the exact name that I used there. This is going to be copied. This is a relative directory inside the Drupal application, so that's correct. And for the database, I'm just going to do it, sorry, with this name. I need to add a host for this. I want to be able to reach it separately from the main domain. And also I want to access it via a different port. I haven't really adjusted it to be like optimal, simply being able to like hit the very same port, but according to the domain name, getting a different site served. I'll check out that one later on. Good, cool. So this is just it, quick, fast, very, very easy to do. Of course, you don't have to use Beam for this if you don't want. It's just my personal preference. Excellent. Next, what do we need to do? Given that this was a change only on the provisioner, we can simply run the provisioner. And that's what we can do. I'll ask it, please run this command. But first, let me just do this. Let me check, okay, so that you can see that we don't have that directory, right? So you see we are inside the virtual machine here. User is vagrant, that's the user we are logged in as. And the machine is called precise32, right? So no JEH3 directory inside the virtual machine. Good. Also, if you come here to phpMyAdmin, you'll see we don't have JEH3 database, right? So no database, no code inside the virtual machine. Good. Now we can run the provisioner. So please run the provisioner, dear vagrant, and only run Puppet. I don't want any other provisioner to run for this. And we'll simply let it run, and it'll pick up our site, and it'll import it correctly, and it'll provide us with a working site in a very easy way, as you can see. I'll pause the recording, resume back when we are done. And we are done. Well, this is a very small site, so less than a minute. Import, very nice. And we can take a look at the output. It was a very short output, and that's the one from the actual building of the environment. And right here you can see, for example, we do have MySQL provisioning the database for us, also the user below it, granting access to a given user. These are just custom shell commands inside Puppet resources. So here I'm simply doing the synchronization from the uzipped SQL dump into the virtual machine. Also, we do have a vhost file being created here. Very nice. And sorry for the background ringing of cell phone there. Okay, I'm back. Cell phone is no longer ringing. Good. What else? I was saying, okay, we do have a vhost file being provisioned for us. Neat. Very, very nice. What else? We are having a custom Puppet resource that is getting a directory, the actual application files, getting imported into the proper location inside the virtual machine. Very cool, right? Also the settings file, as you can see here, and so on and so forth, right? It's also making sure Apache is actually listening on that port. You know, all those little details that you tend to forget. Good. That's very useful. Finally, it'll just tell Apache, hey, there are some changes, please reload. Or restart. Yeah, restart is the right word. It'll do just that. Nice. So, once again, let's check what do we see inside the directory. Okay, this looks nice. New directory here with the exact name that we provided for it. Nice. What else do we have here? Let me refresh this. We see, hey, database imported. Nice. It does have data. I'm not going to show that one right now. And what else? Oh, let me just see into it. And let me just do Drush status. You see, we are having a bootstrap. It means the settings file is set up properly. Cool. What else? Before browsing to the site, this one specific site has an issue, which is, for some reason, variable module is just breaking the site if I visit it before clearing caches. I have to clear caches before, so Let me just do that with Drush. Hope you know a bit of Drush. If you don't, please don't worry too much. This is just like running clear all caches and run it again. That's what this command does. Nothing really fancy there. Good. Now what I can do is I can browse to it. So localhost 8181, and I'll get the site up. Well, it loads. Let me just do something here. I'll get out of the virtual machine and I'll show you something. There is a reason why we are able to hit this immediately on port 8181, which is when this when the virtual machine was booted up, we already had this port forwarding in place. If we didn't have, for some reason this wasn't there, when we booted up, the virtual machine would have to get it down, vagrant hold, and then run vagrant up again after, of course, after adding this line to the vagrant file. So this is a very important thing to keep in mind, right? Good. And the site is just working. You can see running on localhost, and you can also see how my site looks on the web. This is the real site. Cool. Same site. Got imported just nicely. Excellent, right? Now I can just do some whatever work I want to do. To finish this video tutorial, let me just do something that I consider to be useful. Sometimes you get a site, you know, a backup, but not an actual the actual credentials to be able to log in. And actually, that's not really like a good way to work. How do you get to the admin account in an easy way? Via Drush. Very easy. You say, hey, you cd into the directory for the site, and you run Drush ULI. And I'm just, for the sake, this is on localhost, okay? So I'll just run it on. I'll tell you, hey, please, this link you're going to give me, use this base URL, right? And I'll simply go in, provide me with a link, and if I browse to it, you'll see the site will get me in. Excellent. Right? So that's it. You have access to the site, and we can start working. Hope you can get your sites imported this way and just, you know, save time. Automate tasks is very, very powerful, and these tools, Vagrant, VirtualBox, you know, this way of working is simply awesome. It's really nice how everything simply flows when you get the proper configuration in place for your workflow. And that's really it. There's not much to it. It's very easy, as you can see. So this is it. See you later.